Long before the first skyscraper pierced the clouds, New York was a different kind of jungle. A dense, sprawling experiment of brick and wood packed onto a tiny island. The city was growing, but it was growing too fast. Its population doubled, then doubled again, each wave of newcomers squeezing into streets that were already overflowing. Space, the most precious commodity of all, was running out. The city was bursting at the seams, unable to expand outward. So, it did the only thing it could, it looked up. This wasn't just about building taller. It was the beginning of a silent, ferocious competition that would forge a skyline recognized around the world. It was a race between builders, bankers, and dreamers, each one fighting not just for a plot of land, but for a permanent place in history. Their ambition wasn't just to build structures, but to create a legacy etched against the sky. The age of the skyscraper had begun, and New York would never be the same. In the early 1900s, a skyscraper was far more than just a building. It was a weapon in a war of ambition, a towering statement of power and prestige. When the Woolworth building soared 792 feet into the air in 1913, it didn't just break records, it shattered expectations. Newspapers around the globe dubbed it the Cathedral of Commerce, a monument to American ingenuity and financial might. For a moment, it seemed unbeatable. But in New York, no record stands for long. The completion of the Woolworth only fueled the fire. Rival architects and developers immediately began chasing an even more impossible height. Blueprints became more daring, engineering feats more audacious. The city transformed into a battlefield of steel beams and colossal Legos, where every new foundation was a declaration of war. The silent competition had turned into a full-blown race to the clouds, and New York was climbing higher and faster than anyone had ever imagined. Then came the Great Depression, a time when the world seemed to be collapsing. Hope was scarce, and fortunes were wiped out overnight. It was in the heart of this national nightmare that an impossible dream began to take shape: the Empire State Building. Critics called it madness, a colossal gamble doomed to fail. They nicknamed it the Empty State Building, convinced it would stand as a hollow monument to foolish ambition. Construction crews worked tirelessly, their riveting guns echoing through a city silenced by economic despair. They were building not just a structure, but a symbol. And when it was finished, it didn't just open, it dominated. Soaring to a breathtaking 1,250 feet, it became the tallest building in the world, a beacon of resilience visible for miles. It was undeniable proof that even in the darkest of times, the spirit of New York refuses to die. The Empire State Building wasn't just a skyscraper. It was a defiant roar against despair. Decades passed, and a new generation of builders looked at the skyline, ready to make their own mark. The World Trade Center was born from this ambition, a project that pushed the boundaries of engineering to their very limit. The Twin Towers were a marvel of design and scale. Standing side by side, they didn't just add to the skyline. They reshaped the city's spirit entirely. They were bold, elegant, and courageous, a powerful new symbol of American economic dominance and global reach. For years, they defined Lower Manhattan, their presence a constant reminder of the city's forward momentum. And then, tragically, they became a reminder of its vulnerability. After the world changed forever in 2001, a void was left not just in the skyline, but in the heart of the city. Yet, true to its history, New York did not surrender to the emptiness. It began to rebuild. The skyline rose once more, not as an act of defiance, but as an act of profound determination and remembrance. Today, New York's architecture is entering another revolutionary era. The race for height continues, but it's now paired with a new obsession: innovation. We see it in the glass towers that twist and curve with an almost impossible geometry, reflecting the sky in 1,000 different ways. We see it in the new class of super tall, pencil-thin skyscrapers that cast shadows for miles, redefining what's structurally possible. Developers and architects are no longer just asking, how tall can we build? They're asking, how daring can we be? This new wave of creativity is everywhere, from the repurposed elevated railway of the High Line to the futuristic mega-development of Hudson Yards. Architecture has become a form of public storytelling, with each new building adding a new chapter to the city's epic narrative. It's living proof that in New York, reinvention is a constant state of being. The skyline is not a finished masterpiece. It's a perpetual work in progress. When you look at the New York skyline, you're not just seeing a collection of buildings. You're seeing a story written in steel and glass, a story of risk, rivalry, heartbreak, and an unshakable belief that the future can always be better than the past. This iconic view didn't appear overnight. It was forged in the fires of competition, built during economic booms and devastating depressions. Each tower represents a gamble, a moment when someone dared to dream bigger, push harder, and reach higher. And just like the city itself, the skyline sends a powerful message to anyone who stops to look up. It tells us that great things are never built in comfort zones. They're not born from playing it safe. They are born from courage, the courage to face uncertainty, to overcome failure, and to build something magnificent in the face of doubt. That is the true legacy of New York's skyline. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We've got so many more stories to share that reveal the hidden mysteries behind the world we all live in. Thanks for watching.